some of the stuff I've seen, you have some sort of meal prep company that you like to use, and is that based on? Do they do it based on macros, calories as a whole, or what type of markers are you looking for when you're having those meals?
So he does it. I think you can customize through his website as well. You can request like certain macros and stuff. Basically, what I do is I usually eat about two of them a day from him, and then I kind of fill in the gaps where I need. So usually
Hmm.
I'll try and pick the highest protein one, and then like let's say two of his meals are 90 grams of protein total. I'm going for about 225 a day. So I'll obviously dinner I'll probably have about 50, and then I'll have a shake somewhere to cover about 50, and I'll just kind of
Hmm.
fill in the gaps where I need on top of his meal. So if anything, it's just making it very his meals make it very convenient for me at work. They're pre-made. I just pop it in the microwave, eat it between clients or whenever I have a break. Um, so it just saves me a lot of time. So
Yeah,
obviously time is hard to come by. So it
for sure.
it's really good meals. They're very well balanced. He's always got a vegetable source in there, some kind of carb, protein, etc. So it's worked out pretty well for me.
Energy balance and weight management. Um, is it really as simple as calories in as versus calories out, or is there anything else people have to really consider if they're looking to lose weight? And what are some of the talk a little bit about, losing water weight versus fat and stuff like that.
So the calories in, calories out is what it seems, except there's a couple factors that people don't really look at. So you
Okay.
can't just go based off of how many calories you burned and how many calories you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got basically when you have a total daily expenditure that they go through, the TDEE, you're looking at whatever your BMR is, which is going to be what your body burns just basically laying in a bed all day, not doing anything. And then you have your exercise activity, so that's what you're going to burn during exercise. You have your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that's what let's say you're just walking around for work or you're walking around your kitchen, whatever it is, that's going to be factored into that. And then you have your thermic effect of food. So certain foods like protein, for example, is going to be a lot harder for the body to break down. So it takes more energy to break it down. So it's going to burn more calories. So when people look at calories in, calories out, they're forgetting about those other three numbers, and they're just looking at it almost from what their BMR is going to be or what their exercise is.
Okay.
So you got to kind of take all that into account. So someone who's much more active at work, their number is going to be a little bit different than someone that's sitting in an office job all day.
Right.
You kind of have to factor things out based on a couple different numbers that you're taking in. And then when you're coming to like the water weight stuff, so if let's say you go out to dinner, you have obviously a lot of meals at restaurants are going to be very high in salt. So your weight can fluctuate very significantly on those days because you're going to retain a lot more water because of the salt intake. So now when I'm trying to measure clients for weight, the old school thing a lot of people would say is don't weigh yourself every day because mentally it might mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is have people weigh themselves 7 days a week, and you take a weekly average
Right.
because you're going to
That's
see
the
that
program
weight
I'm in.
go like this based on your
Mm-hmm.
water. And women especially, they're going to fluctuate even more on water. So it's very important to kind of get an average. And obviously, like if you weigh yourself on Monday one week and Thursday the next week, it could be drastically different between the two just based on different factors.
Yeah.
So
I
I think
think that's important too, is to take the weight at the same time every day, and then get an average for the week. And I definitely think, because I see it, because I do it, and I see the weight fluctuate. I went out to dinner at for Dave's 70th birthday. His birthday's this week actually coming up, but we took him out to dinner because we're going to be out of town next week. And after I did that dinner, my weight was 189, and then 2 days later I was back down to 185. And it's just because your body just holds on to so much water, like you're saying. And that's one thing that I find can be very discouraging, and why people kind of like get off their programs like, oh, I just gained 4 pounds. Well, you didn't actually gain 4 pounds of tissue. You just held on to so much water because you were dipping your bites of steak in a salt cup,
Exactly.
and people don't know or realize that can get so discouraged, and that can knock them off their whole program.
And I always try and like almost just lay it out for them and be like, did you overeat by, so let's say it was 4 pounds, did you overeat by 14,000 calories?
I hope not.
They're like, well, no. I'm like, well, it's 3,500 calories in a pound. You didn't gain 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Because exactly what you said, the water section. And that's the thing with like the keto diet too, is a lot of people are like, well, I dropped 20 pounds. Okay, well, how much of that was water? Because you're restricting carbs, which makes you hold more water. So a lot of that is just water loss. So it's important to follow that along.
Because now we're on the water program. Talk about, and this is something that, is, as the most researched thing in sports science, the most researched supplement is creatine. Talk a little bit about what your thoughts on creatine are, why it's important, why you may or may not suggest it to people.
So I think it's the best supplement you can get. It's the cheapest. It's probably the easiest to find. Obviously, almost every supplement brand is going to have it. And there's no ill effects from it. So going back to the water, like a lot of people think you get bloated or you put on water weight from creatine, and that's not what happens. It's intercellular water. So it's getting pushed into the muscle cell. It's not getting, strained in your stomach or something like that. So it's not making you bloated. And even going outside the fitness spaces, obviously creatine is going to help you with muscle size, muscle strength, endurance, and even going outside of fitness, it's starting to show a lot of research that it helps with depression and stuff with the brain as well. So, and there's no negatives. And I will say that you got a lot of supplement companies trying to trick people into saying that there's you have creatine nitrate and some of these other forms that people are trying to sell now for like triple the price. And monohydrate 100% saturates the cell. You don't need a different form. So that's just a money grab by a lot of these companies. But even females ask me all the time, like, should I be taking creatine or can I? Absolutely. If you're trying to lose weight, absolutely. If you're trying to get stronger, take it. There's no bad aspect of creatine.
And does it matter, in your opinion, like when you take it? Like, could you mix it with your pre-workout or would you take it with breakfast or dinner, or does it really matter?
Whenever you can take it consistently, that's really all that matters. So if it's first thing in the morning in your protein shake, if you're taking one, or if you take a protein shake or something after, whenever you can just get that in every day is all that matters.
Okay, that's cool.